Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and prepared daily. And so we're looking today at Psalm 118, verses 6 through 9. And we have the repeating phrase again. Of course we do, because this is Psalm 118. This is the king of the repeating phrase. And it comes on the heels of, 6 through 9 comes on the heels of probably my favorite verse, 5. And 5 is my favorite verse because, it's from the muck. From the muck, the distress. From the distress, I called upon the Lord. I love that verse. That's just, I think for me, that's just one of those verses that's just so meaningful. It's just, it just touches me. And speaking of that, I forgot to read to you in the introduction, this Psalm 118. I found this in Weiser's commentary. I'm going to read to you from his commentary. This psalm was Luther's favorite psalm. He said of it, quote, "This is my psalm, which I love, for truly it has deserved well of me many a time, and has delivered me from many a sore affliction, when neither the emperor, nor kings, nor the wise, nor the cunning, nor the saints were able or willing to help me." Isn't that beautiful? Martin Luther loved this psalm and was his favorite. It's his psalm, he said. So we'll just call this Luther's psalm. 6 through 9, as I said, we pick up another repeating phrase or two. Actually, there's two here. And the first one is, "The Lord is for me." Notice how it's translated in the King James, "The Lord is on my side." And that's a translation from the Septuagint. Remember that the King James Bible translates not the Hebrew, but translates the Greek into English. And the Greek is translating the Hebrew into Greek. So we have the Hebrew being translated into Greek, and the Septuagint, which is translated into the English by the King James translators. And I'm reading the King James translation, but in the best manuscript that we have, which is the Leningrad Codex, we do not have the words "on my side." We do have it in the Septuagint, apparently, but we don't have it in the Leningrad Codex. In the Leningrad Codex, it just simply says, "The Lord is for me." I love that. The Lord is for me, I shall not fear. And that's beautiful. I mean, that's so straight to the point. And it's repeated in verse 7. The Lord is for me, with those who help me. That idea that the Lord is for the psalmist. And the question then is for us, is he for you? Well, of course he is for you. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So if you believe in the Lord Jesus, then you know about the Lord being for you. If you haven't yet, know that the Lord is for you. The Lord is for you. Why should you be afraid? The Lord is for you with those who help you. That phrase, "the Lord is for me," is there twice, in 6 and in 7. And then we have in 8 and 9 another repeating phrase. And we see it here, "It is better to trust in the Lord than," and that's repeated in 8 and 9. Both times the first phrase in 8 and 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to trust in men or to trust in princes. So that phrase is repeated. Actually, the word that's translated better there is the word for good. But this is one of those contrasting phrases. It's better, A is better than B, whatever B is. So something is rather than. So A is rather than B, or A is something than B. So in this case, it's better to trust, or it's good to trust in the Lord more than trusting in men, or more than trusting in princes. And of course that's true, because the trust of the Lord will never fail. Men and princes, they'll fail you. I mean, you might think you've got a good thing going if you've got them on your side, but ladies and gentlemen, there is no one better to have for you than the Lord. Trust him today. I hope you'll join me tomorrow on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.